Hey gut feelers, in this video we'll answer the question, why do you react to mold? Why are you sensitive to mold or allergic to mold? Now this video is for you if you've been diagnosed with having a mold allergy or somebody told you that you react sensitive to mold exposure, and or if you know that you've been exposed to black mold, or you've lived in an apartment for a long time and then found out, hey, it actually had mold and you have chronic issues now and facing something like neurological symptoms like dizziness, numbness, anxiety, depression, or more on the physical side as well, fatigue, blocked sinus, you can't focus, you get headaches, then this video is for you. What we'll be covering in this video are two things. Number one, what does mold really do in your body? What happens if those mold spores come into your body? And number two, why do you react sensitive to mold, and other family members that are in the same household or your colleagues who are in the same office that has black mold or any type of other mold, they do not feel any symptoms and they are fine. If that sounds like a good plan, then hit that like button, so I know that this kind of content interests you, and also other people who might be struggling with the same symptoms can find the video more easily. Okay, so do that now, hit that like button if it sounds like a good plan. Okay, let's get started with number one. What happens if mold enters your body? Now, when mold is detected in your body in the bloodstream by your immune system, everything gets activated. So the body's like, oh, we're gonna get that mold out. So it clumps those mold spores together and tries to get it out. And it activates the lymphocytes and other defense mechanisms from your immune system to fight against that. Why does the body does that? Because it wants to prevent the mold spores to get into the brain. Now, the body actually does a pretty good job with that. Believe it or not, but the body is pretty effective with this. However, it takes a lot of effort from the immune system. When you have mold exposure, the immune system is basically busy 24/7 to fight the mold. Now, medical medium Anthony William refers to mold not as something that makes us sick, but as a trigger. And I'm really much on board with that, being a trigger for the immune system. That the immune system gets busy, we are exposed to mold, there's more pressure, just like with other chemicals and environmental toxins and things like that, and they leave us more vulnerable for the health conditions that were breeding all along before in our body that we might not even be aware of because we didn't have symptoms before, we seem to be healthy, or you might have had issues before and now they're aggravated. What are those issues? Often they're viral. When it's about neurological symptoms, it's a viral issue, or bacterial. If you see with things like SIBO, acne, UTIs, that's a bacteria, often by resistant strains of streptococcus, pathogenic bacteria, and in combination often with toxic heavy metals. Those are the culprits for all those symptoms that you're experiencing. It's not the mold. The mold is really just a trigger. Medical Medium also points out two things that I love to share with you because I think this is interesting. Number one is that there are lots of different types of mold. There are different types of black molds, different types of green, yellow mold, and they all have different toxicities. So it's not just black mold, oh my god, it's horrible. Some are affecting the immune system more and some less. And the second thing is that mold that we encounter today in our DNA, in our day and age, that's what you say, DNA, is a different type of mold. It has a different strength than the one that we had 100 years ago. Now mold feeds off radiation. It feeds off technology that we created that affects our immune system by itself, but it also affects the organisms that are around us. One of the characteristics of mold is that it can adapt very quickly to its environment and actually uses it to grow faster and to grow in a different type that we haven't had 100 years ago. If you like to change your diet from feeding pathogens and viruses, this is what we're often doing with what we're eating, to a diet that makes you more resilient to mold, to any kinds of other toxic exposure that you have in your environment, then I can help you. I created a 1-week gut healing challenge, which basically is like a healing plan. It's not just for gut issues, it's also for food intolerances, allergies in general, all these stuff that I was suffering from for 15 plus years myself and I was able to heal myself. And I put this all into one package for 1 week, where you get like a meal plan, you get a shopping list, you get background information why these foods are so helpful with helping you to get more resilient and to stop feeding pathogens and start killing pathogens and really cleansing out all those underlying conditions that make you so vulnerable to mold or other toxins in your environment. Link that below. The Gut Healing Challenge is what you want to look out for, and read the testimonials. Just don't believe me. Read some feedback. People are loving it, so I hope this is going to help you too. Second part of this video: why are you more sensitive to mold, and maybe your colleague doesn't experience any symptoms, he just looks fine and happy and healthy, or your family members, nobody's complaining, and you have all those symptoms and mold toxicity. This refers back to that mold really is not the culprit. It's the same thing with donuts or with dairy or with any other foods. They are not the culprit for your symptoms. They are triggers. Same with pollen. They are triggers for underlying conditions. So in case of mold, it triggers the immune system, and the immune system is busy with taking care of the mold, and then underlying conditions like viruses, bacteria, they pop up more and they move to different stages and move into internal organs and cause damage there. This is why your neighbor doesn't have any symptoms, or they eat donuts all day and they seem to be fine, but they do not have the same viruses and the same bacteria. Just the same with mold. That causes you issues and the other person not. So this is what it's all about. So I know for myself that I'm always, especially when I was sick, I was comparing myself. I was like, this is not fair, I'm doing all the healthy stuff and I'm taking care of myself. I don't drink alcohol, I don't do this, and they are just doing everything and they are happy and fine. This is not fair. If you feel the same, please know that I completely relate to you, and I understand this because it's hard. Like, healing journey is hard, and for that reason I created a masterclass where I share my personal healing journey with you guys if you want to learn more about that, who I got out of 15 years of struggle myself with allergies. I had also mold sensitivity, I had food intolerance, I had gut issues, I had ADHD diagnosed, couldn't focus, brain fog, low energy, anxiety, like a lot of things. And I was able to heal myself because I understood some underlying patterns that are the same with all chronic conditions that I'm going to share with you in that masterclass. I'm also going to share with you the 3 keys to heal any gut issues that you've been struggling with in this masterclass. So if you want to check that out, it's for free on my website. I link that below, peggyschirmer.com/masterclass. Now I would like to know from you, question of the day: do you want me to make another video about mold where I share with you what you can do to heal after you've been exposed to mold, toxic mold, or when you're dealing with mold sensitivity in your apartment? What can you do? What foods can you eat? What supplements can you take? How to recover from mold exposure? Would you like me to do another video about this? Then just comment in the section below with yes. It's all you need to do. Then I will count the yeses, and if I get enough engagement and I feel like, hey, this is important to you guys, then I will produce another video and put that here on YouTube as well. Last but not least, if you want to learn more about this, because I'm really a big fan of Medical Medium. He's very genuine, and I have not seen any information that from him that contradicts what I've learned or what I've experienced with my clients and myself. So I'm highly recommending his book that he just released. It's about Cleanse to Heal is the name of the book, and he talks a lot about healing foods and what they can do for your health. I link a free audio version from him from Audible. If you're new to Audible on Amazon, I link that below, so you can click that, or you can get the paperback, and it's all linked below.